Making a few changes around here. So I used to have a big fence along here. Now I've just opened it right up, cleared out all this junk that was back here. I put this, the fence that was here, I put it up along this wall here. So I'm starting to enclose this area. Nothing fancy, no load-bearing type construction. What I'm trying to do here is I'm going to make a big workbench. It's going to be 12 feet long, starting here, and it's going to go all the way to that post there. So it's going to be a nice big workbench, and up here I'm going to have pegboard, and so I'm going to be able to put all the tools up there that I want. I've had it stuck in my head for so long that I need more storage. I need more storage. You know, I wanted to buy a sea can, get a sea container or a trailer moved in here, use that, or get some sort of barn built. So I've just been having that stuck in my head for so long. But then I thought, well, how about first I'll utilize everything that I have right now, which means cleaning all this out, because there's just a lot of stuff back there that I don't use. So I'm just going to revamp the whole thing and just use it more wisely, use the space more wisely. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm just doing a little bit of scrapping here today. I went to the shop yesterday and they gave me all of this copper here. This is nice big copper tubing, and that's probably 3/4 inch copper right there. And then all of this here from an air conditioner job that they did. I got that guy. This air conditioner here, I just use a hay hook to move it around, because it's these square air conditioners, or I guess it's rectangle. I can't stand these things. They're such a pain in the butt. They don't give, I mean, they do have a nice size copper rod in there, but it's such a pain to get at. And every single time I've gotten one of these things, there's always a squirrel nest in them or a mouse nest, and it just stinks. Oh well, I keep getting them, so it's tough to just toss it in the scrap pile. So I still take them apart because there is some good copper inside of them, and so I want to get that. Some other little copper bits that they gave me, and this is all good copper number 1. And copper right now is really, really good. But here's a new one for me. I have never seen this before. So this is steel BX. So that's a steel case, but inside is lead. So the weight, I picked it up and it's like, wow, that's very odd how heavy that is. And yeah, the whole inside case there is lead. So I've never seen that before. Usually it's just paper or something, but I wonder why they would choose to use lead. And imagine you had a whole big roll of this stuff. That roll would be so heavy to pick up. I couldn't imagine trying to move that big roll on a job site. So that's a new one for me. I've never seen lead inside of BX like that before, inside of armored cable. I bought a light fixture off Amazon. This is a LED, it's a square light. So it's all, it's about 2 feet by 2 feet. And it's LED, so it's gonna be really nice and bright. And the reason why I bought it is to replace this thing here. This is my lighting unit that I've been using for quite a while, and it's definitely served its purpose. It's really nice. But the problem I'm having with it is it's just always in the way. So what I will do is when I'm taking a picture, you know, I'll kind of come down here and I'll push up this flap, even just walking around it all the time, and you know, trying to take a picture from this angle, you know, you have to watch it. It's just not working for me. I don't like it anymore. So I upgraded that light over there. It cost about I think I bought off Amazon about $60. It's square, so what I'm going to do is just put it right up here. There's actually a shelf up here. I'm going to cut this back a little bit and just mount it right up onto the shelf. I want to show you guys a couple sales here. These are some items that I picked up recently. They were just on the last couple videos that I did. This one here I bought at an auction, and I bought about 4 or 5 of them together, all in one lot. I'll get to that one in a second, but first I want to show you this. These were actually, I picked up last week at the storage auction that I bought. I bought that locker that was just wretched. It was, I think it came with 4 or 5 mattresses and two couches. One was a pull-out couch and had a mattress in it, so it was just a lot of junk in that locker. The only good thing I got out of that locker were these and 2 new tires. But I sold this little lot of pins for $100, and the rate I came to that number because I saw another guy's listing that was he was selling a huge lot of these for $2,800, and so I divided that number by the amount of pins he had, and I came up with a comparable number to sell these by. So I just kind of rounded it off to $100, and it sold within a week. So these are Soviet Union CCCP military pins. There's the title. CCCP, Soviet Union Russian Military School Graduation Pin Medals, Graduate Badge. So that's what those are. It's pretty neat. On the backs, they have these screw-on connectors, and they have Russian writing on. Sorry, it's not on camera. They have Russian writing on them, and what I did is that I went online. There's some keyboards that you can pull up on websites that will have all the Russian characters, and it will translate that into English. I wasn't really able to get any information that way. I think on the back here it says Moscow, and then I think the company name, the company that made them. So I wasn't really able to get very much information that way, but it was still neat to have that resource. So yeah, a lot of them, and $100 for all of it. So I'm happy with that number. And I think it's going to, where is it going? DE. I think that's Delaware. So I'm going to ship that out today. This guy here is 15 inches 3/8 across, 8 1/4 inch hole. So it's a big one. It's probably the biggest one I picked up. This is a cast iron grate that would be used in a house that would have a wood stove or other. I'm not sure, exactly what kind of heating it would be used for, but anyways, I sold it. Antique cast iron round stovepipe floor vent register grate, and then I put the dimensions there as well. Yep, so $60 and $36 for shipping. It's going to LA, Louisiana. I'm getting better with my states, guys. This eBay is helping me learn all my states. Yeah, so that is a nice little sale. Basically, you just want to get ones that are most ornate looking, like this, and have lots of patterns and designs. And sometimes these will come with an insert in the middle as well, but this one doesn't come with it. So you want to look out for that. When you're packaging out cast iron like this, you want to treat it exactly the same you would treat a piece of glass, because this stuff will shatter in the mail. So don't put this in a box without any stuffing. Pack it in real nice and tight so it doesn't wobble around, because it will shatter. It's just like glass. I haven't had that happen, but I've heard it happening before. Not a bad sale right here. 2 brackets from my Dodge Ram. This was a 1998 Dodge Ram. I parted it out, and these are the brackets that lift up the hood, the front hood of your truck. That's what those are. There's 2 of them there. I put them in bags because they're really greasy. There's these heavy-duty springs here that are just caked in grease. So that's a bit of an awkward box, but I was able to find this one here, and it works out pretty well. But they're very heavy. Anyways, $100 and $26 for shipping. It's going to Ontario, and these guys here have been up on eBay, coming up to a whole year. It's April 30th right now, and I listed them May 9th of last year, so almost a full year. So there is the new light that I bought off Amazon. It's 2 feet by 2 feet. It's perfect square. There's the top. It's really easy to wire up. That's just a power cable. I always get those all the time, and it's all wired into this power bar. There is one snag. I will tell you about it later, but I also put these lights, they were already here, but I just screwed them on a little bit better. There's one there and one there, and I changed the bulbs to these ones here. These are like photography grade lights, and they work very, very well. Those are the ones I've been using. See, they're all inside here. They're very big and expensive. And I have one little dinky light here. I would like to get something a little bit bulkier. I would actually like to have like one there and one there, just to get the head on, get the item head on. But I am pretty happy with it. Here, I'll turn on in a second. These two lights will come on first, and then the big one in the middle is going to come on a second after. Okay, here we go. When I bought this, it was only $60 to buy it. So it's pretty cheap compared to a lot of the other ones on the market. Now the thing is, if you're going to buy lighting for photography, there is one specific number you have to look for. Now I didn't realize this before I bought it, but the number you have to look for is the Kelvin. So this is 4000 K. Now these lights that I've been using are 5500 K. This is 4000. Now there's a big difference in the quality of your pictures. This is a very bright white light, and this one is a bit more orange. So I have been able to correct the pictures using the camera. So I was able to change the white balance in the camera. And I'll show you here in a second. This is the camera that I use. It's Canon Mark II 5D. Really nice camera. And so I was actually able to change the white balance on the camera, luckily. Without changing the white balance, this is what you get. Looks like someone spilt coffee on it. And that's what it looks like with the white balance adjusted. So luckily I was able to do it, and it took a long, it took me a while to figure it out, but it's well worth trying to figure out. You got this yellow orange picture, and it's just no good. You can't have that. So that's what will happen if you get a lighting with low Kelvin. So this is a 4000 Kelvin. Now I'll show you what my older pictures. Yeah, this one here. This is an older the lighting system I was using before, with the 5500 Kelvin bulbs that were really nice. It's just a very cumbersome setup, and so that's what it looks like with the 4000. So it's a big difference there, and just it looks really gross. I don't like it at all. So luckily what I did, instead of having to return this lighting system, I'm going to keep it, and I just went and changed some of the white balance setting on the camera, and I get that. You can't even see the border down here. You can't even see where the picture meets the outline of the box. See, like up here you can meet it, you can see the border, but everywhere else it looks pretty good. So that's really sharp. I'm happy about that. And if I'll just bring this window over here, and this is all like the test. I did a whole bunch of testing, so there were some, like this is too blue, and these ones are really orange and yellow. So, and that was the last one right there. I was able to get it just right. It's Kodak LED light panel, and right here it says 4000K, and they call it milky white. So you want to make sure you get a higher number than that. Get 5000 or 5500. Now the only problem is that when you get up to 5000 or 5500, the price is going to double. So this unit right here I got for $57.10. So expect to pay double that for a higher Kelvin, and but it is worth it in your pictures. Went garage sailing today, and to be honest, I've never really liked garage sailing, but I did have a good time today. We went out and did it, and it was fun. This is a computer. We've actually bought that for I think we paid $20 actually. They put he says he has Windows 10 on it. Has a nice, it's a pretty decent video card. It's older, of course, but we're going to give that to our little boy because he needs a computer. So we paid up for that a little bit, and got that for free. Found a free VCR. Got this thing for free. This pack of videotapes. I asked him, he said 25 cents. I didn't have 25 cents, so I gave him $1. And I found that computer, that was free. We bought some skis, poles, and boots for our boy because they really had a good time skiing this past winter. So I think we paid, it was $20. There's the boots and skis and poles. That was good. Wheelchair, that was free. So I bought this trombone, and it's a Yamaha. It's very good condition. They were asking for 30 and I offered 20 and they accepted. It's got a few dents here and there. There's a big dent right there. But I didn't really take it out and try it out or anything because it was just so cheap. So I said, 20 bucks, sure, why not? And low end on eBay, they sell for, I've seen them selling for $100, and it's a very low end. And of course they go very, very high after that, you know, like $2,200, but this is not going to go anywhere near there, I don't think. But pretty cool nonetheless. And you know, has these 3 mouthpieces. So 20 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong with that. So that's comes with the case and everything. So I'm going to put that up on eBay, and I should be able to flip that. In here I bought a box I offered him 10 bucks for this whole box, and he accepted. It has some chisels, brand new chisels, pencil sharpener, hammers, has this cool thing. It's like an axe, nail puller, hammer, multi-tool, I guess. It's kind of cool looking. And some other hardware down in there. There was one house that I went to, and the guy was a contractor, and he had a whole bunch of really niche tools. So this is an electronic scale. It goes from 1 to 110 pounds, and it's by Yellow Jacket. It's a good name in, what you call it? It's a good name in the heating and cooling business. So anyways, it's a nice little scale, and this is used to measure cylinders with refrigerant, but it's just a regular scale. You can use this for anything. So anyways, it works. He showed me, and this I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this yet. I may use it for my shipping because I have been looking for a new scale, but I will look this name up, and if it sells for quite a bit, then I'm just going to flip it because it's a lot of money, and I can get a regular scale for a lot less. He told me that these things will retail for $500. So I'll tell you how much I bought in a minute because he had some other stuff, but he had this motor here, and it's a big one. This is a big motor, and it's pretty much new. He said it's pretty much new, except the shaft does look a little bit used. I didn't notice that before. So, but you know, it has barely any use on it. So he says that that's a very expensive motor. So I said 120. He was asking $100 for this. So I said, will you take 120 for this and the motor? And he said, sure. So he gave me that. And I haven't looked this stuff up yet, but I'm pretty confident that I'd be able to flip this, no problem. But I may keep it. So anyways, he did 120 for that, and then he gave me this tool pouch just because he was very happy with the sale. So I said, yeah, take that. Everything else is pretty small, but there was some other good stuff like this telephone. I tested this out to make sure the display is okay. We plugged it in and it's good, so I paid $7 for that one. And that was one garage sale. At that same garage sale, I picked this thermostat up for $2. $2 thermostat, can't go wrong with that. The place where we bought the computer, he had a bunch of boards and video cards. He was selling all these video cards for $1. I was surprised. Some of them are not that old yet. So yeah, he said everything, they work, and for $1, why not? Try to see if I can flip this kind of stuff too. Well, really beautiful day out here today. I'm working on this mess, this catastrophe in here. I'm trying to get this workbench set up, and I'm pretty close. I think I'll get the main part of it done today. So there's the bottom step. This piece, this of wood here, it's been a little bit rotten, but I put the rotten side up, hoping that it will air out a little bit. I've had all this wood lying around my property for a long time, so I'm just using up all these scraps that I have, and there are a whole bunch of big chunky pieces of pine. And there's one piece here that I want to show you. It's pretty interesting, and my house is a pioneer home. It was built, we were told, like 1850s, very old home, log home. And this piece here used to actually be the back step. The back door had a door, but actually I ripped it out because this is now, that was the back door. There was an addition, so it's no longer the back door. It's actually like the entry to my living room. So, but when I ripped this piece of wood out, I found it really interesting. You can see it there, has a big curve on it. Well, that's actually just been worn down by people walking on it throughout the years. So that was that was a very long time ago. And I remember when I ripped this piece up, there was another piece of wood on top of it. I ripped this piece off and I could smell cow manure. It was actually the fresh smell of cow manure from all those years ago. You know, I don't know when they would have put the addition on the house, you know, some time ago, and the smell of cow manure was still fresh. I thought that was really interesting. But I just wanted to show that piece of wood. I remember taking this one out. I took this piece out quite a few years ago. It's just all pine, probably about 8 years ago now. But I'm just going to use it right there for a cross piece for when I put the main boards on top of my workbench. I have two other pieces like this that are in better shape, so I'm going to put them on top of here. I bought this wood with a whole bunch of other lumber at an auction probably about 3 or 4 years ago, thinking that I would actually use it for my countertop in my house, but I never did. So they've just been sadly sitting outside getting wet, but I'm finally going to just use them, and I think this will be really, really nice. It's going to be a nice big workbench, and I'll have pegboard for all my tools up there. It's all done. It's going to look great. Last night I finished this off. It's the next morning, and this is definitely my new favorite place to be, my new favorite spot. I love this thing. I was late at night, and I was working on some box lots that I picked up from an auction. Those guys there, just working on those and dumping them out here on the table and finding all sorts of neat stuff that I want to keep or sell. There's some air hose fittings. Found this little rubber stopper from a tractor. Might try and sell that. Little Allen key plugs that I'll keep. So I really enjoy going through all these boxes. And now this table is just awesome. I love it. It's so deep. It's probably, how much would that be? Let's see here. Yeah, this table is 34 inches, so we're almost at 3 feet. And it's a little bit high, a little bit on the high side, because I didn't take into account how thick the wood was. But yeah, it's just at 40 inches off the ground. So a little bit, I was trying to go for 3 feet. So yeah, I just didn't take into account the thickness of this. It's actually, this wood is about 2 1/8. Yeah, so it's over 2 inches, this wood. But it's really nice and sturdy. I bolted it with joist hangers and I put one piece in the middle there. I used a framing nailer. I used this monster here. Oh, I love this guy. It just made the job so fast. And I have a whole bunch of these. I guess they must be 3-inch nails in there. I got a whole bunch of them. I remember I bought this thing on auction for very cheap, and these things are incredibly expensive, especially the nails. Once you start using up these nails, oh, you almost feel pain every time you use one. But I got a really good deal on those, so I just went to put this thing together really fast. Nice sturdy shelf on the bottom here, so I can put all my big tools, you know, like a couple miter saws. I got my wire stripper, sander, little bandsaw, battery charger, table saw, and gas. And I just like to have, when I'm working, I like to have a quick place to put just all the steel. So that's raised off the ground a little bit, so it's not going to rot. This piece over here does have a little bit of rot back here, so it's still wet, but I'm fine with that. It's going to dry out pretty fast. Can I help you with something? You okay? Do you need anything? I put this little magnet thing here for all the quick access to all the things that I use all the time. Different bits, wire, garbage. I'm going to keep this here for now. Things are going to change all the time. You know, I had a plan in mind that I wanted to do, but it just changes all the time. But I am going to block this in so that, you know, no rain or snow can get in this way. Anyways, this is a really good spot for a staging area for when I get stuff from auctions, garage sales, wherever. I can just bring it here, process through it, and decide what I want to do. Especially I like to clean stuff as much as possible, so I put all my tools up here, and I have a whole bunch of different brushes, wire bristles, and whatnot. So I like to make sure everything's nice and clean before I bring it into my house, because the less I clean in the house, you know, it's just, there's always a war on dust and dirt in my basement. So I just want to make sure I bring downstairs a clean product. And this is like a box here that is destined for my basement. I'm going to list all this sort of stuff. These pencil sharpeners do surprisingly well on eBay. I was surprised to see that there's a lot of sold listings, and they're all like in the upper 20s. And yeah, all sorts of different stuff in there. I used my chainsaw to cut out these sections here. Actually, I didn't do a very good job. That's a pretty big gap on that side. The other side's pretty tight, but yeah, I just cut it out like that to make it fit. See there, right there. There's a bit of a gap there. I don't really care. And I'm going to try and fill in that top part with some more wood. And I want to move my deer. He's in the way. Probably move him up there or something like that. And over here on this side, I just have the buckets for the non-ferrous. I got a little bit of copper going on here. And yeah, other little collections down there. The other side, we can go over here, is the scrap. So I beefed up this fence a little bit. It was actually kind of falling over, and I just put some straps around the trees, and I banged a couple poles into the ground. And this is just the steel, and this is more steel for scrap. This wall, I kind of want to decorate it with some farm junk cut type stuff. And over here, I just kind of partitioned everything with pallets, all the different kinds of scrap. So over here, it's going to be dirty aluminum there. All aluminum, everything from the siding, all clean aluminum. Over here is going to be electric motors, and I have Christmas lights there for now. And over here, all the electrical wire. I want to put another pallet over here. And yeah, I have a lot of wiring. So been collecting that for a while. But here's the inside of the shed, and I just want to have all this cleared out. This will be like an area for, you know, different stuff that I can store. But I have a lot of junk. Still have a couple chainsaws over there. I still have that steel and the Echo. Bunch of paint. And these are a bunch of Jeep parts I actually picked up at an auction a while ago. Some pretty nice stuff in here, actually. There's like a hitch receiver for a Jeep, and a couple bumpers for a Jeep, like a YJ or something, or I don't even know if they're called YJs anymore. What is it, like a Wrangler? I don't know. I'm not too good with my cars. Let's go check out the drop-off bin. I'm here now, and it's been all weekend, except the wife and kids did actually come here over the weekend, and they confiscated a couple things from here. And one was it was a Samsung tablet that they picked up from here. It's actually working. So far, so good. But there's some other cool stuff here. Wow, look at those brake drums. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand these bulbs. I hate these bulbs. I need to make a sign that says no light bulbs. All I do with light bulbs is I just throw them out. I'm not sure what's in there. That definitely feels like a TV. I don't know why they would put it in a garbage bag. I'm gonna try and cut this tree down right now, and it is a monster. It's an ash tree. It is dead. Didn't have any foliage on it last year, thanks to the ash borer beetle. So I'm gonna try and cut this thing down. It's probably, I'd say 50 or 60 feet. I'm pretty confident I can just notch it, put the hinge in there, and it's going to go right over there. There's my notch. I think it's pretty good. Oh my god!
I was about to hit the chicken coop. I was like, oh no, it's gonna kill all the chickens. It's like I was back there, so I thought it was gonna like land on a chicken coop.
Well, I wasn't sure where it was gonna go.
It was so, I was so, I was in that chill bit. And suddenly just started tilting like in the direction of the chicken coop.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No. Oh man, I just didn't want it to go that way.
Yeah.
I was like, don't. I don't know. I was nervous, but okay, it's good. Woo! Give me 5. Yeah. That's how we do it.
Yes.
Oh man, look, I'm just shaking. Look at that.
Yeah.
But I think that's also from the chainsaw. Whew. All right, now we get to clean this up.